and I, long story short, just got with a show out of Las Vegas called Legends in Concert that came to Mississippi. In the meantime, I guess I went on this rebel stage and started playing a lot of rock and roll instead of country, and started listening to a lot of rock. But then, I started really diving into soul music. That Memphis soul sound, that Muscle Shoals thing, that New Orleans funk, and started listening to a lot of Otis Redding. I just love Otis, and I don't know. Then I moved. I took off with Legends in Concert. I took off with the circus, I call it. After they left Mississippi, we went to Las Vegas, and a lot of them were close friends of mine. So I don't know, just started playing the music that inspired me. All of a sudden, that new style that or new to me, that soul music and rock, and playing a lot of it in the lounges, which gave me opportunity to really hone in on my vocals and even brush up my chops on my guitar. So all of this music that's put on this whole album, this new album that's really different from the old. I don't know. It's just things I'm trying out for the moment, and but in the meantime, I can guarantee you that all of it is coming from my heart. It's always going to be honest.
She said it's all about picking up where we started. I know it's true. She said it's all about leaving unbroken heart. Ain't nothing new, but she wanted a little more, just a little more. Oh, so much more than
everybody. This is Michael Grimm, and you're listening to Artemis Records Radio.
Well, you sound like you have a deep faith. You sound like you have a faith background with your grandma's papa building that church and being in church. And how did your faith help you, or what did it do for you during this whole time? Because musicians struggle, people struggle with things, and Jamie mentioned before about Katrina. How does your faith play in all of this?
I choose to believe in God, and I say choose. It takes faith, I got a good dose of that as a child growing up, what that meant, to see God through different actions, and a lot of people think you're going to literally see Him. My faith has never been shaken, even after Hurricane Katrina. No, absolutely not. And even some of the lines in some of these songs, like The Tide, for instance, where it says, I'm not one for praying, but if I did, I'd do it now. And it does no good complaining when the Lord has struck you down. I hope people don't take that wrongly, but, sometimes, you shake your fist, and then, you're forgiven for that, and if you ask for that. I've remained a spiritual human being in my life, absolutely.
Yeah, it comes through in your music. It comes through. It's
really
very
does.
powerful. There is something there. There's a depth. There's a power. There's a spirituality. You don't come through Katrina. You don't come through that stuff without having some kind of an anchor. And through the church building and being in church and singing, and your voice sounds like a gift from God. Sounds like a power when He sings.
I always thought, when I was a child, that my sister and I were going to get a bus and become, evangelists.
That's awesome.
Thought we were going to, I was going to be a preacher, and we would sing, music and gospel songs out on the road. Once again, I never know where things will take me, or where, in another life where God, is going to take me. Just go with it. I've had a wonderful life too. If I died today, I can say I've done everything on my modest bucket list in life. I have to sort of create a new one these days. Most of them are vacations.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've got a real powerful spiritual theme to your music, and it comes through, and that comes from a place usually inside. It's not outside. It comes from inside.
Oh, absolutely.
And something that has to be tested and developed in order to be able to put that out there. And St. Francis of Assisi said, go and preach the gospel, and if you have to say something, then do so. You don't have to say anything. You really are preaching with the power of your record, the demeanor with which you talk to people, and the courtesy with which you deal with people. All that says God and Jesus 1,000 times.
I was brought up not only going to Baptist churches, but went through Pentecostal churches and holiness churches of the South growing up. I love the music in the Pentecostal churches, the bands and the making a joyful noise unto the Lord as they live by in those churches. I love it. And that's another thing that inspired me in music, was going to the Pentecostal and holiness churches. I spent most of my years in school in Christian education.
Hey, we appreciate you giving us your time. That's great. I mean, you basically, from beginning to end, you've had this faith journey. But, how it develops, and living in the moment, being present to the Lord. Clapton has In the Presence of the Lord. He has that, it touches everybody sooner or later, But I believe that you bring that to people with your demeanor and stuff. And being on the show, people, my mother-in-law was passing away from cancer in Phoenix City, Alabama at the time. And my wife and her 2 sisters and the mother would watch you every night. They were thrilled when you won. They're from Phoenix City. I don't know if you know where that is, Alabama, by Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's my peeps.
Yeah, they just were thrilled, and you came across honest and genuine just like you do now and on the record. So that's the character and reflects upon the people you were raised around, and meaning that when you did win the show, you kind of did something for your grandparents, right?
Yes, I always told her I would buy her a mansion one day and have her a limousine with a butler and a driver and all that stuff, right? Because we were poor, and I didn't know we were poor, but I wanted her to have bigger things, because she was everything to me, her and my grandfather. And so, I always had that in my mind, that if I ever got rich or had the money to be able to get that for her, of course I stick to my word, and I love to give, especially to people that I feel, deserve it. And I don't mean to be a judge upon those people, but my grandmother definitely deserved it, and I knew that. And so I just said, well, if I win the money, big chance, and I'll win, definitely will get her that house that I've always wanted to get her. And there it was, I guess a lot of prayers and a lot of people voting, and I don't know, in some ways I feel like some days I'm living in some alternate reality,
You walked on water when I was a kid, amazed I could have you as long as I did. I wanted you longer, but heaven forbid. And so the wind blows, and so the wind blows, that wore down the great pyramids. And so the wind blows, and so the wind blows, as lonely can get. I always thought you were my beacon of light, but we were two ships just passing by. Inside the shadows of the twilight. And so the wind blows, and so the wind blows, bitterness taking a bite. And so the wind blows, and so the wind blows, I miss you with all of my might. Haunting my mind, your memory lives on, just between dusk, midnight and dawn. I took you for granted, and now that you're gone. And so the wind blows, and so the wind blows, constantly singing your song. And so the wind blows, and so the wind blows, as if you were saying so long, so long, so long. Everything comes to an end, bid you farewell, and then starts again. It's only a question of when. Here come the shadows, they're calling us in. Everything ends. You were so much stronger than I'll ever be. Feel like my ship is lost out at sea. As we lay you down beneath the oak tree. And so the wind blows, and so the wind blows, spirit be alive in the breeze.
Hi, this is Michael Grimm. You're listening to the Guitar Maniac Show with Jamie and Basil.
I'll give you an example of like what we're going to play on our next show, and I wanted to get some ideas from you.
What would I pick? Oh my, Allman Brothers, definitely.
Greg Allman worked at Muscle Shoals. He's the Sky Dog that they mention in Brown Sugar. When Mick Jagger says Sky Dog Slave, you know he's doing all right. That's what they used to call Dwayne Allman, Sky Dog, over at
Right,
Muscle
that's
Shoals.
right. I saw the documentary. What a great documentary on Muscle Shoals. I'll go with Whipping Post. Good Lord. You know, I know you probably get that a lot. When I hear that song and I hear that guitar, you know, those guitars on that song,
Oh, yeah.
it still inspires me.
Run down, I've been lied to, and I don't know why I let that mean woman make me a fool. She took all my money, wrecked my new car. Now she's with one of my good time buddies. They're drinking in some crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post, tied to the whipping post, tied to the whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying. My friends tell me that I've been such a fool, that I had to stand by and take it, baby. Oh, for loving you, drown myself in sorrow as I look at what you've done, but nothing seems to change. The bad times stay the same, and I can't run. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post, tied to the whipping post, tied to the whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying. like I'm dying.
Hi, this is Michael Grimm. You're listening to the Guitar Maniac Show with Jamie and Basil.
That's it, bro. You were great for us. Thank you so much. We could talk to you another hour. You got a bunch of other stuff to talk about. I mean, we just touched on the talent that you got.
Yeah, it was a real treat listening to your stuff today. I got to go through all of it, and it's making some real
Thank you
special
so
music,
much.
man. Real
I
special.
really appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
God bless you, brother. Gosh, I mean, he's like the nicest guy in the world, right?
Yeah, what a nice guy. We really appreciate him stopping by.
And so talented.
Yeah, very humble and very talented.
Yeah, normally you meet people that are that talented and you deal with their handlers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's go to the website, guys, and download the record. This guy is the real deal.
MichaelGrimmMusic.com. That's MichaelGrimmMusic.com.
Remember that you can get the Guitar Maniac Show on demand at ArtemisRecordsRadio.com.
That's right. You can also hear the show at ArtemisRecords.net.
You can also email us at theguitarmaniacshow@gmail.com.
If you want to write to the Cream of the Crop Show or Indie Cuts, you can email us your submissions at ArtemisRecords@gmail.com. Great show, Jane.
Yeah, we're going to close it out with one more track from Michael's new record. The record is called Grim
824.
This last track is called 1982. It's a fun tune with incredible vocals and a very talented guitar maniac named Carlos Guerrero. Check it out. We'll see you next time on the Guitar Maniac Show.
Think I woke up in the 80s. I saw the Marble Man driving a minivan. It's a retro reality in my head. Leg warmer babies all over me. As revolution goes, sex is the one to know. I may end up a casualty in my head. It's kinda like it's 1982. If I smile for a while, will she make a move? It's like it's 1982. Oh my God, she walks up and she pays me a compliment. What she wants is more nasty and innocent. Is this a dream that I'm going through? Paid my good mornings to yesterday, and I was shocked again. More sex without the sin, way beyond generosity. Quick broke, whoa. Tomorrow called on the telephone. Gigantic plastic thing, two metal bells that rang. She said my future was missing me. Come home. It's like it's 1982. If I smile for a while, will she make me move? It's like it's 1982. Oh my God, she walks up and she pays me a compliment. What she wants is more nasty and innocent. Is this a dream that I'm going through? 1982. Think I woke up in the 80s.
The Guitar Maniacs Show is brought to you by Artemis Records, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, live from Hollywood. You can catch the broadcast at artemisrecords.net and artemisrecordsradio.com. The Guitar Maniacs Show is sole property of Artemis Records. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this program without express written consent is prohibited.